pilot for Air Force One.
Ooh. I want to know how they actually select that fucking pilot. They'd be like, are you a terrorizer? You a motherfucking terrorist? They're like, no. You're going to fly for the president, motherfucker. Why does every U.S. military branch have pilots? Because everybody's got planes. Duh.
But why aren't all of the pilots in the Air Force?
The Air Force barely flies. Top Gun is Navy.
For starters, they all fly aircraft. We're sure you almost fell out of your seat with that one. Every pilot, fixed wing and rotary wing.
Fixed wing,
it's basically something
plane,
like jets,
rotary wing, helicopter.
Every pilot in the U.S. military is a commissioned officer, with the exception of the Army, where they can be warrant officers too.
I feel like in the Army, a majority of pilots are warrant officers, not actual warrant officers. So for anybody who actually wants to be a pilot in the military, can't be enlisted if you want to be a pilot. You have to go become an officer or be a chief, at least. If you're in the Army, you can be a chief. Outside of that, you have to be an officer. You gotta be a smart person who went to school to fly the plane. And let me know down below in the chat if you guys have ever wanted to be a pilot and who you guys think what branch has the best pilots. Navy.
That means
why?
That every
they got
pilot
Top Gun.
is an officer, and for every hour of flying a pilot does, there's countless hours of preparation, rehearsal.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, you gotta be
debriefing.
smart as.
Don't think they generally do less and less flying.
That's why Maverick stayed a captain, bro. He trying to fly.
Another thing you need to know about military pilots is that it takes years to train one. You might think, why does it take years?
Because it's a multi-million-dollar plane?
It takes a long time to craft the skills needed to be a military pilot.
I can do it.
They aren't just trained in
100% I can do it.
Due to the time commitment and cost of training military pilots, their contracts are often upwards of 10 years long. Perhaps
what's your guys' favorite jet? Let me know down below in the comments. And helicopter.
But it's time to jump into our first military pilot community, Army pilots.
Let's go! Army, hands down, the best helicopter pilots. Hands down. That I can vouch for. That's 100% true. Try and change my mind. Helicopter pilots, Army's the best.
Make no mistake, while the Army is known for things such as infantry and tanks, Army pilots have been a considerable part of its warfighting history. Army aviation has been so substantial that the Air Force actually originates from the Army.
Oh, got him!
It was known as the Army Air Force. The more you know.
All the Air Force people who are like,
Army's
stupid. We're like,
you might be familiar with some of the helicopters they fly. The AH-64 Apache, CH-47 Chinook, UH-72A Lakota, and the UH-60 Blackhawk. What's more badass than a Blackhawk pilot flying low to the ground with a machine gunner raining hell upon the enemy?
Ah! Dude, that's so hot. This is a Marine Night Army.
Army pilots
they did that on
even
purpose.
have their own place in special operations with the prestigious
160th
Special
SOAR.
Operations Aviation Regiment, nicknamed the Night Stalkers.
I just said SOAR.
In aviation.
You guys can be special operations pilots, baby. Those are like the dudes who fly for like Delta, Ranger Battalion, so on and so forth.
If you want to be a helicopter pilot in the military, the Army is your best shot. While some Army pilots do fly fixed-winged aircraft such as the RC-12 Guardrail, C-12, and Sherpa, the majority will be on rotary-winged aircraft.
So we don't fly any jets?
For Army pilots is being able to start their careers in the reserves.
Oh, I did not know you can do that shit in the reserves. Okay.
And there will be active duty time.
One of my favorite sounds is a CH-47, which is this like 2 propeller helicopters. I love it when they get lift and they hover and it's just like pop, 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 pop. It just sounds so fucking cool, dude. Navy pilots driving them dildo sticks.
We told you the U.S. Navy has the second largest air force in the world. Well, you better believe it. The Navy doesn't mess around when it comes to air power.
Top Gun!
Resisting the urge to do another Top
Gun!
They have a
if you haven't seen Top Gun 2, you need to go see that show because
what sets Navy pilots apart from the other branches pilots is their relationship to the water.
Bro, the fact that they're able to fling off a fat piece of metal that's heavy as shit off of like this far a runway is crazy.
They can fly the SH-60 Seahawk, MH-53E Sea Dragon, FA-18 Super Hornet, and P-3 Orion. Due to their focus on maritime operations, Navy
they fly more shit than that, bro. Maybe they're talking about doo-doo crap.
Think about it. A carrier can travel upwards of 30 miles per hour. That's a moving object.
Yo, if I do this shit, bro, hey, guess what? I'm fucking crashing and the whole ship sinking, bro. They're gonna be like, you got this? I'm gonna be like, no. I cannot do that, bro.
But it doesn't stop with carriers.
Look at how fucking unrealistic these jets look, bro. That doesn't even look real. It looks like something out of a goddamn video game. Ah!
Some can even become astronauts. There's even a Navy SEAL doctor astronaut in NASA.
Bro, this motherfucker. What the fuck is his name again? That dude that they just showed is a SEAL, doctor, and he's an astronaut. Go Navy.
Flight from air shows around the nation, conducting awesome
I was flying inverted.
There's actually a Top Gun school that some pilots can attend, called the Navy Strike Fighter Tactics Instructor Program, who then returns Air Force pilot.
Okay, first of all, quick disclaimer. They totally did not talk about the F-35, F-16, F-22. And I don't know if it was the F-22 or the F-35, which was in the background half the time, but those are other craft that the Navy flies.
Remember how we said the Navy's the second largest Air Force? Take a wild guess on who is number one.
But who's the better one?
The Air Force is known for some of its high-tech and deadly aircraft, such as the AC-130, A-10 Warthog, and F-22 Raptor.
A Warthog?
It is also the only branch that has bombers in its arsenal. And that's why pilots are a highly sought-after job in the Air Force.
Well, because everybody joins the Air Force thinking they could be a pilot. People be joining the Air Force after they see Top Gun and not know that Top Gun is the goddamn Navy. What the
Plus, who can deny the amazing quality of life the Air Force has? A lot of things we say about Air Force pilots are going to be similar to what we said about Navy pilots. Air Force pilots can be fighter pilots, helicopter pilots, fixed-wing pilots, you name it.
Damn, even when they're flying jets, they're sitting, bro. Motherfucking Air Force in this the bitch till they die, bro. Y'all never get away from it, dude. Never.
Objectives.
They're sitting in $100 million chairs.
The last thing we'll cover about Air Force pilots is the opportunity to pilot for Air Force One.
Ooh. I want to know how they actually select that pilot. They'd be like, bitch, hey, you a terrorizer? You a motherfucking terrorizer? They're like, no, you gonna fly for the president, motherfucker. Love it.
After going over Air Force and Navy pilots, we're sure you're starting to see a decent overlap in the various pilots of the
Marine Corps not flying none of this shit. That's risky business right there, dude.
Are also called naval aviators.
So I pull on a stick and it goes up. Okay, I got this.
They have a bigger focus on close air support and are typically involved with missions protecting and furthering the mission of the Marines on the ground.
Selfish. Don't worry about it. Marines.
Jobs are essentially there are Marine first, officer second, and pilot third.
Everybody in the don't forget about that. Also, a rifleman. Every Marine is a rifleman.
Some Marine V-22 Osprey.
Death Trap. The V-22 is a goddamn death trap. I'm good.
Another mean all Marine officers, including pilots, have to go through the 6-month TBS, known as the Basic School, where they learn a whole slew of combatant and ground tactics. So
that's kind of hot.
With Marine One, it's essentially
that's lame.
One, but a helicopter. With Marine Corps pilots wrapped up, let's move on to the last, but certainly not least, Coast Guard pilots.
Coast Guard, I feel like they got some good pilots.
Those
helicopter pilots, because they do search and rescue all the time.
Every now and then, those are Coast Guard pilots at work. The Navy isn't the only
Hello, sir, do you need a hug? I'm here for you.
Coast Guard has the smallest pilot community compared to the other branches, with around 800 pilots to be exact. They still make a giant impact in military aviation. You're not going to have as many aircraft to choose from.
Bro, look at these motherfucking Coast Guardy snipers, bro. For those of you who don't know, Coast Guard does have sniper teams and a lot of aerial sniper teams. I don't know why, but they do.
They even have designated search and rescue pilots, which needs no explanation for its badass.
No, explain it to me.
Coast Guard pilots can be a part of law enforcement and homeland security missions.
They do a lot of that shit.
They have a different name. Coast Guard Aviators.
You can be a naval aviator, an army aviator, a marine aviator, a Air Force aviator, a Coast Guard aviator. Lame.
Has a few
I'm good.
The MH-65 Dolphin, MH-60 Jayhawk, and the HC-144 Ocean Sentry.
An Ocean Sentry?
It's safe to say that military pilots.
Yo, I'm about to join the Coast Guard right now, dude. For
instance, Triple Ace Robin Olds. For those of you unfamiliar, a Triple Ace is a pilot who took down 15 aircraft in a single day.
15 aircraft in one day?
Fighter pilot.
Bro,
the memoir of
serial killer pilot. Holy fuck. That's like the ghost of Kev, like fucking reincarnated. Holy shit.
Do you even want to be here?
No! You guys, let me know down below in the comments what you learned. Also, let me know if you were going to become a pilot, what branch you would pick, and then what craft you would want to fly to, because I am curious. They barely mentioned it, but I want to fly an F-35. Now, it's not exactly an attack bird like the F-22, but I think its stealth capabilities are super dope. That's it. Thanks for stopping by.